and then I think before the rain starts again, we're just going to harvest a few of the broad beans behind me, because it's a little bit of a process to get the broad beans. See all of the beautiful flowers that are about. I have woken up with like so many blackberry thorns in my fingers. Hi everyone, welcome back to another video. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you everything else I got up to in the week leading on from last week's video. So I think I ended the day on Sunday where I did a full tour of Diane and Samson's gorgeous homestead. And I did continue filming throughout the week, so I wanted to share everything else that I got up to. It was a pretty busy week because I had one of my gorgeous friends visiting, and I basically went on a little bit of a staycation with her. We went around exploring a lot of the areas around the south coast. We went to some gorgeous places and had a really nice time. I was also working, so I was doing some bush regeneration and garden work, and I was also doing things in the garden. So there is a lot in this vlog and I really hope you enjoy. You'll see me come back in a little bit in the video, current kind of day that I'm in right now, because I'm going to be filming a recipe for how I'm using a lot of the broad beans that we harvested. So I really hope you enjoy that and enjoy watching this video. Right, it is Monday now and it has been a very rainy day today. It has not stopped raining the whole day up until now pretty much. It is almost 5 o'clock and I've just come outside to do a little bit of harvesting. I have my little basket here and some of the beetroot is ready down here in the flower farm area. I have some veggies kind of planted in and amongst all of the flowers, and then I also have some broad beans that I want to harvest from the other garden. So I'm going to pick some of these, maybe check on the onions as well and see what they're doing. I have a guest visiting for the week, one of my best friends, so she's going to help out and just help out in the garden a little bit, do some harvesting, and yeah, I'm just gonna enjoy the garden while the rain has stopped for a little bit.
So how do you know when they're ready to pick?
Well, I just like them no larger than this, because then they get just a little bit tough, and the smaller ones like this size are a little bit sweeter.
Yeah.
And they're also just easy to then like roast whole.
So they show at the top of the soil?
Yeah, pretty much. And see, I've planted them really closely together so that I can thin them and then they'll keep growing.
Yeah. That one in the middle is quite big.
Which one?
That one.
Yes. Oh yeah. Stunning.
Dampen the other one's style.
You just look like a dirt on my face. Did I get mud on your face?
No. Let's just put my cup down.
It's not the best time to be harvesting these because of all this rain, just because it makes it really dirty, the process, but I just can't really wait any longer. They've got to come out of the ground. Alright, this is all I'm going to pick for today. I'm kind of just choosing the larger ones so that all of the smaller ones can just keep on growing, which is great when you're sowing root crops like beetroot and carrot and turnips and all those kinds of crops, because you can just sow them fairly thickly and then just pick as you need and let all of the other smaller ones grow. This is usually just about how much I'll use in one go. I'll probably roast these and put them in a tart or something like that. But yeah, super happy. Okay, and then I think before the rain starts again, we're just going to harvest a few of the broad beans behind me. These are looking a little sad. They've actually developed rust, which is unfortunate, but that doesn't affect the actual broad beans and the pods unless it really takes over the whole plant. It's mainly just the leaves that it impacts. So we're just going to pick a few of those and then, yeah, I don't know how much else we'll get done today.
You just then like just pull it.
Yeah,
back
you can
to-
just pull it like a bean.
Oh, that's snapped.
That's alright.
I'm not very good at this, am I?
No, you're good.
How do you make it look so easy? I was like, I'm
less gentle than you.
yeah, clearly. There's one hiding where your hand was, but on the other side. Up a bit. Up. Oh, there was one there. Up a little bit more. There's two more. Yeah, right there.
Because you kind of need to like double shell them. It's raining too much now, so I'm going to take these inside, and tomorrow I will share how to shell them and what I'm going to be cooking with some of these broad beans, and yeah, maybe share the recipe for the beetroot tart as well. But yeah, it's another rainy afternoon here. Alright, it is Tuesday now, and I'm here with my friend Sarah. We have been really good friends ever since high school, so quite a few years. And we have just been sitting here underneath the bottle brush tree with all the bees around, and we've been potting up all of these tomatoes. So we have a whole tray of them now, and I was showing Sarah how to do it.
Yes.
She's super keen to start a garden at her place, aren't you?
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, grow
Can't
lots
wait.
of food. Yeah.
Yes. Feed the whole family.
Yeah, it'll be so good. But yeah, it's a really nice day now that the sun has come out, so we're gonna continue doing a little bit more potting up of the tomatoes, and then maybe go to lunch somewhere and just enjoy the day. Alright, well this is our little harvest for this afternoon. Picked quite a few broad beans.
Yep.
It's hard work actually, like all the squatting and I don't know.
Bending over, stabilizing
Exactly.
yourself. My
Yeah.
core has never been so sore.
So we're going to go inside, well mainly me because I don't want to make you do too much work, but I'm going to shell all of these because it's a little bit of a process to get the broad beans. Firstly, you need to shell them out of this pod and then double shell the pea that's actually inside. So you need to shell it again, and I'll show the process for you. But there are really small ones that you can also just eat whole as well if you would like to. So when they're really soft and about that size, you can definitely just eat these like green beans, but for a lot of the broad beans, I'm going to shell them and then probably freeze them just to have some on hand. They're a really great protein source from the garden and so much nutrients, and the plants are also just going to fix nitrogen back into the soil and yeah, feed all of the microbes and bacteria in the soil. So yeah, they're a great plant to plant, and this is my first time actually growing them, so oops, they're going everywhere. So I think I did well for the first time. Yeah, some of them were getting a little bit rusty. There's some rust appearing, which is just a fungus on some of the broad beans. But yeah, pretty good overall for 10, 12 plants, I think. Right, it is Thursday now, and I didn't really film too much yesterday just because I was working all day. I was working on the same property that I usually do with Jeff and his team at Whitbird Environmental. It was a pretty hot day. It was actually, I think, one of the hottest we've had, yeah, for at least the last 6 months or so, definitely. It's about 27 degrees, which I know isn't that hot compared to a lot of people, but when you're out in the sun doing lantana and blackberry control, it's really, really hot. So the last few clips that you would have seen was what I was working on. Lots of blackberry, lots of lantana. I have woken up with like so many blackberry thorns in my fingers that I didn't know that I had. So that's going to be fun to get out later. But it was a really nice day, and yeah, we just spent the afternoon relaxing here, took the cats outside, and now we are shelling some broad beans. This morning I did some more garden work at another property, and it was just kind of a maintenance, few hours, weeding some just little weeds, just little grasses and little onion weed things. So that was pretty easy, but nice and relaxing, and it was good to get that done. But yeah, we're sitting here. The table is filled with broad beans, and I'm going to set the camera up and just show you the process, or the first process of shelling them. So the easiest way if you have a lot of broad beans is to just grab some really big bowls, whatever you have, some bags for all of the compost, and also a friend if you have a friend to help you. It's definitely worthwhile. But this is probably like one of the larger sizes that I have here, and it is really simple to shell. All you just need to do is, it's easier if you take the top off sometimes and then like strip it down like that, and then you can open up the whole pod a little bit easier on its sides, and then you'll just see the really big broad bean peas, I suppose, in there that you can take out, and then just add them to your bowl. Keep them all in a nice bowl, and you can just get rid of the pod. once you're finished. So this is a little bit more of a close-up on what the broad bean actually looks like, and you can see they have like, some of them are different colors, but they actually have this outer shell, and inside is the actual part that is a little bit more tasty to eat. So I know the first time that I was eating broad beans, I just ate the whole thing and it wasn't exactly pleasant. The outside shell of the broad bean is a little bit more tough and is kind of bitter as well. So you want to make sure that you're double shelling the broad beans if you're using them in cooking. So that's what I'm going to do with those. But you can also eat the broad beans just when they're little, and you can just eat them like beans as well. So for a lot of the little ones, we're kind of saving in the bowl, and I'll just use them and steam them or use them in stir fries, and yeah, they'll be perfectly fine to eat. Probably in tomorrow's vlog I'll show a few different recipes. We might try and make a broad bean dip. I'm going to fry up some of these and have them on toast in the morning with some capers and lemon, and that'll be really delicious. But I will bring you in a little closer and I'll show you an easy way to double shell the broad beans, just simply with a little bit of boiling water. So double shelling them is pretty easy, as you just saw, just sticking them in some boiling water for a few minutes or so, and then they easily just pop out of the little shells, and then you have the broad beans and they are ready to eat now. You can just eat them as is, you don't have to cook them. It's completely up to you what kind of flavor that you want to add to them or dishes. The other night I just added them into a veggie soup just after I'd kind of blended up some of it, added them in for a little bit of texture, and that was really delicious. Or you can just add them into stir fries as well. It is completely up to you how you like to use them. But if you do have any favorite recipes for broad beans, I would love to know what they are, so definitely leave them in the comments down below. Right, well I think we are going to head out for lunch and then go do some exploring this afternoon. I'll include a few little clips here of what we're going to get up to, but if you would like to see a bit more of an extended version, then make sure to head over to my Patreon channel, where I just share extra videos throughout the week, and it's a way to support my channel, and I am eternally grateful for everyone who supports me over there. It's a really great little community, and I'm excited to grow it and post more photos over on Patreon and little videos of what we get up to gardening and exploring the area. Alright, I thought I would jump in here now and show you a little recipe on how to use the broad beans. Welcome to my kitchen, my very green 70s style kitchen. The colours are just, well, they're very bright. But today I'm going to be making a recipe from the Seasoned Cookbook by Casey Lister. And she has an amazing Instagram page full of so much information and just really cool garden reels. She's very relatable. I love her garden. It's very kind of similar to mine in terms of its style, things she grows. She's based over in Western Australia and just released her new cookbook. So I am going to be making a recipe out of here. I would really highly recommend this cookbook if you have a lot of garden produce and you're not too sure what to do with it or how to use it. All of these recipes are like right up my alley, and they really just hero what's coming out of the garden basically. So the recipe I'm going to be making today is this one here. I'm going to be making the broad bean bruschetta. looks absolutely amazing. So I have all of the ingredients that I need for this recipe. I'm just tweaking it just a tiny little bit because my broad beans that I have, they've actually been in the fridge for about a week and they've gone just a little bit. They're just not as fresh as straight from the garden. So definitely the fresher, the better. But I am just going to be sauteing my broad beans for a little bit just to kind of make them a little bit more soft. So I'll show you everything that I'm doing for this recipe. So the recipe calls for about a cup of broad beans, which I have in here, and you can see I've been double shelling them to get just the inside, which is the softest part of the broad bean. And I'm just going to saute this in with some garlic just for a little bit, just to soften these up. Right, and then I'm just going to add everything into the bowl. So I've got half a cup of peas in here, all of my broad beans, which I'll add in now. It says to add the juice of half a lemon, so I've got about this much here. I'm just going to go easy on the lemon because I'm just going to adjust it to my taste. Also finely grated lemon rind, 1 tablespoon of capers, finely chopped, about a tablespoon of olive oil, 1/4 teaspoon of caster sugar, and 1/4 cup of mint, but I didn't have that much in the garden, so I just have a little bit to add. Alright, this mixture is all done. I had a little bit of a taste and it is absolutely delicious. I'm going to toast some bread, put a little bit of garlic on the toast, and then pop this on top with some feta cheese, and then this will be my breakfast for today. All right, this is the finished meal. It actually makes 2, but I'm just going to have one now and then enjoy the other one a little bit later. But it looks absolutely beautiful. I love food that also looks appetizing and nice. I know, of course you would, but I love food with color. I love color from the garden. Green's my favorite color. So, you know, this is definitely right up my alley. I'm going to do a little bit of a taste test and tell you what I think. I mean, I knew it was going to be delicious, but I really, really like these flavors. I did actually put a little bit more lemon in just because I was being cautious, because it said the juice of 1 lemon, and the lemons from Diane and Samson that we got are absolutely massive. But I did add a little bit more in. I really love the flavors of the broad beans, which are a little bit more bitter in my case. They're not as sweet as the peas and the mint and the capers. Absolutely beautiful. I'm gonna go and enjoy this and then stay inside today, because the day that I'm filming this, we're having a massive storm on the way, so I needed to be quick to get this filmed before all of this thunder and lightning comes. But yeah, I would definitely recommend trying out this recipe or something similar like broad beans on toast. I never would have thought of that unless I saw Casey make this on her Instagram and then in her cookbook as well. I would love to know how you use broad beans, because I want to try some other different things like broad bean dips or just like stir fries and things like that. Let me know if you would try this, and I'll leave Casey's book information in the description box below. All right, I'm going to jump back to the past now for the rest of this video. I hope you enjoy. We've decided to come on a little walk in one of the nearby walking areas and just having a little bit of fresh air, seeing what wildflowers are out and about right now. We've seen some really, really pretty ones, but we're gonna have a pretty relaxing day. Just keep on having a walk around, just enjoying a little bit of nature, which I really like to do, and make sure I really prioritize every week to kind of reconnect myself to the area, learn new species of plants, see all of the beautiful flowers that are about, and yeah, just kind of do like a little bit of a staycation. I really like having friends over because then it makes me go out and do things that I wouldn't otherwise do. So we're just going to explore the area. We're going to head up to Berry and check out some shops and cafes up there. Have a good day. Anything you want to add?
No, just enjoying the weather. It's
Yep.
really nice, pretty.
Yep. Yeah, it's a really nice day. We just got back from our day out at Berry and Bomaderry Creek. It was really, really nice, and we just did a little bit of a walk in the garden after we got back. I thought I would share with you what I picked up today in case you're interested. And today we went around to a lot of the shops in Berry. It's really nice just to go around. If you're ever in the South Coast, Berry is such a cute little town. There's some really great gift stores there, restaurants, cafes. We went to the Milkwood Bakery. Absolutely delicious food. And then we went around just to a few of the little shops. I picked up a little cute mug from Vinnie's, very me, and we kind of collect mugs in the household. I feel like I have a mug for every different mood, so I needed a happy and bright one to add to my collection. And then to go with that, I picked up some tea from the Berry Tea Shop. Another really pretty shop. This one is called Gypsy Rose. It's a combination of black tea, peppermint, rose petals, green tea, cornflowers, and bergamot. It's really, really delicious. And then I couldn't help myself. I went into like a little witchy kind of tarot oracle store and picked up some more oracle decks because it's something I don't really talk about a lot, but I really, really enjoy reading oracle cards and just connecting to nature in that way and using my intuition with cards to kind of build up my nature spirituality side. And these are definitely going to help with that. I'll put an overlay on the screen of some of these cards, but firstly I picked up the Forest Fae. These ones have been on my list for a while now. They're by Nadia Turner, and they're just the cutest little cards. They have really cute characters. They're not necessarily oracle cards, they're kind of messenger cards where they just have a little creature on it and a little message. And I'll probably just pull one of these like at the start of my day. If it gives me a message, then I can apply that to my day and just kind of intuitively connect with what I might be thinking, what I might be feeling. But the other one I got was the Herbal Astrology Oracle, and This one has absolutely beautiful artwork, and that's kind of what caught my eye with this one here. I absolutely love this kind of artwork, and I really love the back of the cards too. So this one has a really great guidebook as well, so it has the meaning for all of the cards, how you can apply it, a little bit of history on the herb and the plant, and yeah, it looks like a really great oracle deck. It's got a few different spreads in it, so you can choose if you don't want to just do a one card pull reading. It's up to you to figure out what works for you. But yeah, I don't really use these religiously. I just use it to ground myself and calm down a little bit, because I do tend to be a very anxious person a lot of the time, and alongside gardening, things like pulling oracle cards really help me to think about things in a little bit more of a logical way or an emotional way, to be able to process things that happen in my life. And I really love to connect to nature and the nature meanings of a lot of these plants, and just learn a little bit more about the spiritual side of plants, and how they might make people feel, because there's a lot more to plants than just the food that they can give to people. They can make people feel really, really great, have connections and memories to past family members or cultural connections. There is so many stories that plants can tell, and I love using oracle cards to kind of delve into that a little bit more. I really would like to get back to doing my daily nature readings as well, where I am doing my nature journaling by recording things in nature that I see, how I feel, the changes in the weather, the flowers that I'm noticing, the native animals that I'm seeing, and again, kind of build on my own personal calendar of reading nature and applying that to different times of the year. So that's something I would really like to do every day. So I'm going to try and do that, and maybe put together a video of that for you all sometime soon. But I think this video is getting pretty long. It's Friday now, and tomorrow we are going up to visit some waterfalls. So I'm going to wrap this video up here. I hope you enjoyed. It wasn't too much of a garden with me this time. It was kind of just a week in my life. This is what I'm up to. So I would love your feedback on these kinds of videos. There will be lots more garden with me and garden content. This week I just had a friend visiting, and I was visiting friends at the start of the week, so it was a pretty busy week for me alongside work as well. But I did manage to fit in just some little garden chores here and there, adding to the garden with buying more plants as well. And yeah, just enjoying it with friends, because there's something super important, or at least it is for me, to be able to take a step back of the garden that you've kind of created or you're starting or building on, and just have a week to just enjoy it with the people around you, with friends, with your family, because that's what brings me joy, and that's what kind of refills my cup when I'm feeling a little bit down about like the weather that we've been having, or the plants not doing as well as I thought they would be. Just having people who haven't seen the garden before and come and just enjoy it and love it just really fills me with a lot of joy, and really kind of kickstart that motivation to keep going, which I definitely needed a little bit of that. So I'm going to leave this video off here, but I am going to be filming a video for Patreon. I didn't end up doing that the other day just because it was so windy, but tomorrow I am going to be filming my day for Patreon. So if you would like more content, make sure to head over to my Patreon channel, and make sure to follow me on Instagram, because I'm trying to post a little bit more on there each week, as well as our Earthly Roots podcast page, which we're putting out an episode every week, and we are really enjoying the podcast so far. So thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you're having a lovely day wherever you are in the world, and until my next one, happy gardening everyone. Bye.